And there is Russo Natan Schulte, the two-time champion. He'll take on Alexander Martinez, an undefeated prospect out of Paraguay who is none too pleased, Kenny Florian, with being the big-time underdog in this fight.
Yeah, that's right. Really believes in himself and believes he's being overlooked here against Schulte big time.
So here's how the playoffs work out for these two gentlemen as we head into this bout. Alexander Martinez, he carries 3 points into this one against Natan Schulte. If he gets a win of any kind, he's in the playoffs. Natan Schulte is going to need a finish. A stoppage win, though, for Natan Schulte means that he is in.
Right, so he can do that in any round.
Yes.
Right. So there is Martinez fired up. You know, even though he got the win against Rajabov, he believed he did make a whole lot of mistakes that he learned from. Stayed here in the United States, went to Las Vegas, did his camp for this fight there. And he loves this matchup. He really does.
Randy, he's a young guy. He's still undefeated. His last outing for the PFL was really his first foray onto the big stage. And he performed well, but as Kenny just said, it wasn't a dominant victory over Luis Rajabov. He actually fought a good portion of that bout off his back. Now, he was aggressive from there and earned himself a narrow decision victory, but he wants a convincing performance tonight.
Let's be honest, this was a big step up in competition for him. I think he weathered it well, but it was still an eye-opener for him. And I think he's got his feet under him now. He knows exactly where he's at and exactly what he has to do.
And his opponent, Natan Schulte.
I cannot stress to people enough how shocking it was to see Natan Schulte lose his first bout of season 3. Now, Marcin Held, who beat him, is a prime competitor, is a formidable foe, but Natan Schulte has looked so good in his run through 2 PFL seasons and 2 PFL championships. He's got incredible judo. His jiu-jitsu is on point. He's weathered striking storms. He got dropped and recovered and choked out Ramsey Nijam. The guy has been through it all in the PFL cage, except for this. He has never had to bounce back off a loss, Randy.
This, in my opinion, is a true test of his championship spirit. It's not about the guy that wins all the time. It's about the guy that faces that adversity and steps up and deals with the loss and comes back and gets back on that horse. And that's what we're seeing in Natan Schulte right here tonight.
Our tail of the tape for this lightweight bout presented by Geico. Natan Schulte, 2 years older. He's 2 inches shorter. He experiences a 4-inch deficit in the arm reach, but has a slight advantage with the legs. And don't be surprised to see Natan Schulte and Alexander Martinez put the full tools of mixed martial arts on display. These are 2 gentlemen who like to strike, they like to grapple, they like to do it all. Very excited for this feature bout here on ESPN+. Lillian Garcia starts them off.
Fight fans, this is the featured bout on ESPN+, and it is in the lightweight division, brought to you by Geico. Introducing to you first, fighting out of the blue corner, he is a striker. Standing at 6 feet tall, he weighs in officially 156 pounds. In 9 professional fights, he has an undefeated record of 8 victories and 1 no contest, with 6 wins by way of stoppage. Fighting out of Grand Prairie, Alberta, Canada, and representing Paraguay, here is Alexander Martinez. His opponent, fighting out of the red corner, he specializes in judo. Standing at 5'10", he officially weighs in at 156 pounds. In 25 professional bouts, he has a record of 20 wins, 4 losses, and 1 draw. Fighting out of Joinville, Brazil, here is your 2-time PFL Lightweight World Champion, Natan Schulte. Your referee in charge, Vito Shaolin.
Our referee Vitor equipped with the ref cam. Alexander Martinez representing Paraguay. In the black and gray trunks, the Brazilian Natan Schulte in the red and black Valet Tudos.
Are you ready? Are you ready? Let's fight.
I would be remiss, gentlemen, if I did not mention that this fight came together on just a couple of days' notice for both of these individuals because of some injuries and some shuffling around. They both prepared for different opponents and now find themselves squaring off against the man in front of them. Nice jab and a push kick there from Martinez.
Schulte, the absolute bruiser, going against Martinez, who likes to use his feet to hop in and out of range. Curious to see how these guys match up so far. Martinez showing he might be the faster guy out there.
Two low calf kicks there from Natan Schulte, and now he's in on a takedown attempt.
Schulte trying to scramble to get to his back, and he's there. One hook in, needs the other anchor to secure that back position. Here comes the anchor.
Martinez trying to keep this going, and there's Natan Schulte.
Oh, nope, didn't get there.
Not quite. Alexander Martinez proficient here. Now Natan Schulte continues the search, trying to get that right hook in.
Schulte doing a good job of getting that right arm on the inside, kind of doing that spiral ride there to try to keep Martinez belly down. See if he can get that second hook.
But taking the other hook out.
Martinez crawling over to the cage here. He'll try and use the barrier, the smart cage to get himself up.
Schulte in a great position here to pound away and set up that rear naked choke.
A lot of time, and these gentlemen are pretty dry, which is not good when someone's on your back. Martinez staying calm here as Natan Schulte searches for the neck.
Oh, reversal by Martinez.
And Schulte right back to his feet. That's no part of being underneath Alexander Martinez.
Martinez was a bit of a Houdini against Rajabov in his first fight here in the PFL, and did the same thing here against Schulte so far.
That judo on display there from Schulte, and he slams Martinez right down on his face and right back to that position with one hook in.
He put a lot of pressure on that right shoulder, and the execution of that looked like that hurt.
I agree, it looked like he hurt his arm, but very few people use their judo in MMA better than Natan Schulte.
That's a great point, Kenny. There are people with better judo credentials, right? Kayla Harrison, Ronda Rousey back in the day, better judo credentials potentially, but as in terms of applying it to mixed martial arts, I don't know if we've seen people do it better than Natan Schulte.
On again, falling off the back, scrambling right back to his feet, not settling for any position here, but exactly where he wants to be.
Back to the distance they go here. Martinez gets back to his feet, and there's that low calf kick again. This time Martinez responds. Tests a high kick as well. Terminator style as always from Natan Schulte.
Yep, great escapes there by Martinez, and Schulte just plowing away there, trying to come forward like Juggernaut here.
That's the third time he's landed that little low calf kick on Martinez. Martinez has returned twice now.
And I'll tell you what, Randy, we saw him disable Louis Rajabov with that exact kick in the final back in our 2019 season. So he's had success with it. No surprise he's going back to the well.
Nice, he's got the hip position. Very nice job by Natan Schulte. Back down on the mat goes Martinez.
So excellent when he gets that body lock and compromising balance, going back and forth, and he uses his feet. You'll get your heels out from under you, your toes out from under you, get your weight on the wrong axis. But good work by Martinez getting back up. Nice 1-2. And a double leg attempt here from the young man.
Scramble by Schulte, nice job. Scrambling out of there, not conceding any position. I'll tell you what, Schulte's doing a better job of keeping his hands up and not taking all those shots right on the chin.
Yeah, he is taking a lot of those on the top of the head and on his elbows. That shelling defense just walks forward.
I love Natan Schulte's style because it's like my style, but if I also knew how to grapple.
Oh, that's great.
Nice push kick there to the midsection of Alexander Martinez. Good right hand.
Nice little right hand on the inside by Schulte.
Inside of 10 seconds here in round one. Nice combo from Martinez in the late goings here of round number one. And there's the final bell. An interesting first round. High-level grappling on display. Some good combinations, especially late there. A treat for the fight fans. There is Claressa Shields, the quote, arriving for her mixed martial arts debut. Just moments ago, stepped into the arena here, backstage. She keeps her braids blue to raise awareness of the water situation in her hometown of Flint, Michigan. She's got 3 boxing belts. She's got 2 Olympic pugilism medals. And tonight she begins her mixed martial arts journey. Claressa Shields in our showcase main event later on ESPN2 and ESPN+. Back to this lightweight affair here, featured on our ESPN Plus card. Schulte Martinez, hey, look, I don't know how you score that one, but it wasn't a dominant round for either man.
True. I give the nod a little bit to Natan Schulte. He had his back on 2 occasions. He plodded forward. Sometimes the judges see that guy that's pressuring and give him the nod. But tough one to score.
FPR agrees with you. FPR has it probably a little bit more lopsided than I would have. But that's why we go with the algorithm, okay? It's objective. Nice low calf
that's
kick
making
there.
limp right off the bat.
Damage there to that lead leg of Natan Schulte, and he says, I don't want to stand on it anymore. Game performance, grabbing his opponent and getting him down to the mat. And once again, he'll try and ride it out. Alexander Martinez scrambles back to his feet. Natan Schulte desperately wrestling off a leg and a half, maybe, Kenny?
Yeah, I mean, he was definitely hurt and hit that takedown at the right time.
I think he had his leg planted when he threw that low leg kick, and
Yeah.
it either tweaked his knee or his ankle. It's hard to say which one.
Well, we've seen that before. We saw that Tyron Woodley and Carlos Condit. Tyron Woodley landed a leg kick on Carlos Condit, and it actually tore the ACL on his plant leg, if I'm not mistaken. So it can happen.
It was one of those calf kicks, and the thing about those, it only takes one to completely change the fight. Martinez landed, and like Randy said, it looked like all of the weight was on that lead leg of Schulte. And you see Schulte going right back to his grappling, does not want to stay on the feet for too long. That leg is most likely still injured.
What an incredible display of timing there from Natan Schulte. Just as Alex Martinez was getting back to his base, got both feet planted on the mat, Schulte inside trip, gets one leg out. Oh! And now chain wrestling, goodness gracious. This is high-level stuff.
Sweaty bodies, he's too high. Schulte's gonna come out the back.
Yep.
Unbelievable work here by Natan Schulte, and the counters by Alexander Martinez are equally impressive. Great stuff. Back to distance they go inside the middle of that PFL smart cage. And Schulte appears to have shaken out the real pain in his lead leg. Martinez continues to attack, and it's still bad enough that Natan Schulte has decided to switch stances. Nice combination from Martinez, finishes with a high kick. Hands on display as well. Nice uppercut and a left hook to follow.
Martinez starting to land with more frequency.
We're not seeing Schulte punch his way in. He's just waiting in there, taking every shot that Martinez throws. And Martinez is starting to mix it up and throw some really nice combinations. Head outside single. Martinez reverses it.
The key here is that Alex Martinez is backing straight up for the most part, and Natan Schulte is walking him down.
Schulte's
That's
doing a good
nice
job.
one, too.
Schulte's doing a good job, but when he shells up, anytime an arm comes on a certain side, he returns on that same side with a shot, and he's surprising Martinez. He's just not utilizing his legs to put more power into his shots. He's kind of just swinging with his arms. If he can get his legs involved a little bit more, he could hurt Martinez with these shots.
Martinez is putting some combinations together here. He's figuring out the distance and the timing as Schulte trudges forward. Clay Collard backstage, very interested in the results here. He currently is one of 2 lightweights holding on to 6 points in the playoff standings. Schulte hanging heavy on Martinez's back.
Yeah, and this has really been the battle. Martinez has found a way to counter this back attack from Schulte repeatedly.
Nice arm over whizzer by Martinez to neutralize the inside position of Natan Schulte.
Natan Schulte could get into the playoffs with a finish in any round. Alexander Martinez gets in with a win. He could ride out a decision, but with this much time left in round number 2, it might take more than a decision. There's that low kick again there from Martinez. The undefeated prospect accounting well for himself against a 2-time champion.
Martinez again doing a great job of defending this back position. Now has an overhook in a much better position now. And this is going to start to frustrate Schulte and tire him out.
Gotta be frustrating to have a guy that deep, to be that close,
Yes.
and just have him weasel out of there, slip out of there every single time.
Sharp 1-2 again from Alexander Martinez. A left hand snuck in for Natan Schulte as we close round 2. These 2 dynamic South Americans, Alexander Martinez representing Paraguay, of course Natan Schulte, his home country is Brazil, and there's that low calf kick. Immediately got the results Alexander Martinez was looking for. Randy,
Nice
what's happening
takedown,
there?
head inside single, just followed through. Nice little trip to finish that head inside single. I think that's just the calf kick, it just hurt. Those things just hurt. I think the joints are okay, but he just hurt him.
Just sees that muscle up. And
Yep, you can see it if it hits on that right nerve, and there's Martinez landing some combinations. And guys, this was a much more successful round for Martinez, and I had him winning it. I mean, Schulte had his moments as well, but I thought Martinez landed a little bit more.
I'll be curious to see what FPR thought of that round, what the judges thought of that round. It's not an easy one to score
it's not,
because
but I had it for Martinez too. I agree with Kenny.
Could be 1-1 now, heading into the 3rd.
Those combinations in that kick, his ability to just scramble out of every takedown attempt.
3rd and final round here in lightweight action. There's your FPR score, and true to what you gentlemen said, the FPR and the algorithms say Martinez won round number 2, so could be a round apiece on the judges' scorecards as well. Alexander Martinez staying at distance. Tell you what, he's excellent with the straight punches and the straight kicks. Nice body shot there, searching for Alexander Martinez. And a need to greet Natan Schulte as he comes in. There's a slapping hook as well from the long Paraguayan.
Oh, man.
Heavy hands there from Natan Schulte.
Nice little twisting body lock by Natan, but Martinez is not having it.
And on
He's not going to concede a single position.
And on the stand-up, he snuck a right uppercut in and snapped back Natan Schulte's head.
And Randy, that's one thing we saw in his first fight. Martinez fights for every single position, no matter where he is.
Natan Schulte could score himself a playoff spot with a finish here in round number 3. A decision doesn't guarantee him anything. Will he stay aggressive? Alexander Martinez continues to retreat. Schulte grounds that spinning kick and gets his opponent to the mat. 3.5 minutes here in round number 3. our PFL Ghost Cam removing the chain link for you that you see right through. Martinez looking for that underhook and is able to get it. Unreal cardio on display from both of these guys right now.
Oh,
Martinez got no problem giving up his back because he's been here, what, 10 times in this fight and manages to get out every single time.
Nice work by Schulte, just peeling him right back down, away from the cage, not letting him use the barrier to create leverage or to peel Schulte off. Fighting hands now, Alexander Martinez trying to turn and face Natan Schulte. Back down to the mat they go. This time Martinez is able to face. Natan Schulte grabs his single leg and puts him right down on his back again. The two-time champion putting his grappling on display.
Well, this is where control has to come into play. He's got a little over 2 minutes to get a submission here. Schulte has a very good arm triangle. Let's see if he can set it up. He's got to clear at least one of those legs of Martinez. He's not finding success. Anytime Martinez turtles up like that, he's just not able to capitalize here. He's staying way too low, and he's allowing the longer Martinez to get up repeatedly.
Martinez is so good from this quarter position. He protects himself so well, he never lets you get both hooks in and anchor yourself on his back. And it allows him to stand right back up and hand control and stand up.
Martinez rolling, perhaps trying to grab a leg. Schulte counters, lands in half guard. Once again takes the back. 90 seconds remain in round number 3. FPR says it's a round apiece. Kenny and Randy say it's a round apiece.
Schulte is just staying way too low anytime he's trying to attack that turtle position of Martinez. There's no downward pressure, so Martinez is able to get to his knees or his feet almost every single time.
Schulte's lock is down around his waist instead of up around his head and shoulders, keeping that forward pressure and making him put weight on his hands to keep him down there.
Persistent wrestling here from Natan Schulte. Once again, puts Alexander Martinez on his back. Schulte in the half guard. And like clockwork, Alexander Martinez turns around, stands back up.
Hand fighting. See his locks clear down there around the waist. No forward pressure, no weight on Martinez. Nice job of Martinez, little inside trip. Schulte says,
Oh man, these scrambles,
man,
have been wild.
A battle of attrition in the grappling here. I cannot overstate how tiring this type of a fight is. 10 seconds remaining here. We will not see a finish, which has huge implications for the playoff picture, regardless of what the judges say.
Yeah, tough round to score. Schulte had majority of positions, had his back for more than half of the round, but the best combinations and the best things happened came from Martinez. How do you score that? That's a tough one to score, and that decides who gets the nod,
right?
Not only in the win, but into the playoffs.
Potentially, absolutely. Natan Schulte looking to bounce back off his first loss in 4 years, and that is the grueling performance that his opponent gives him. If you're gonna get a win after that long, it's hard-earned. There's our Cageonomics stats bundle presented by Geico. You can see there, Alexander Martinez, more active and more accurate in the striking. 9 takedowns for Natan Schulte. 9 takedowns? Let's take a look at some of these replays, Randy.
There's that low kick again. Paid dividends with that low kick to that low calf. Here's Schulte in where he likes to be, that body lock position. So slick from there. Takedown, but Martinez just does not concede a single position. Makes you work for everything. Single again, head outside single, inside trip. Here's the big spinning kick, but Natan smothers it. Man, still got him in the back of the head with that heel. Body lock, Drops him, tries to take his back. Martinez just not having it. He scrambled out of every single one of those attempts.
Unbelievable chain wrestling and chain defense from both of these guys. Yeah. And how about it? A little handshake.
Like another training session, you know, just sitting on the wall talking about what you did. Oh man, how'd you do that? I don't know, but how'd you do this?
Fighter performance rating gives 2 rounds to Natan Schulte. FPR presented by our good friends at Rich Energy. Judges taking their time deliberating on this one, and I do not blame them. Not an easy fight to call. A lot on the line here. I mean, we already talked about the fact that Natan Schulte is coming off his first loss in 4 years. That young man on your screen right there, Alexander Martinez, has never lost. He's still got the coveted O in the loss column.
Yep, I mean, it's going to come down to whether the judges saw control as being a factor or, you know, the damaging strikes from Martinez. Going to be close.
Lillian Garcia has the official decision.
Ladies and gentlemen, after 3 rounds of action, we go to the judges' scorecards. Judge Eric Colon scores the contest 29-28 for Martinez. Judge Muna Holland scores it 29-28 for Schulte. And Judge Prairie Rugilo has it 29-28 for your winner by split decision and earning 3 points in the lightweight division, Natan Schulte!
So Natan Schulte, a decision win in a hard-fought battle. Excellent grappling on display, both offensive and defensive. You can't hang your head after a performance like that if you're Alexander Martinez. Interestingly enough, 3 points in the PFL lightweight standings for Natan Schulte. I told you, had he earned a finish in any round, he would have clinched. Guess what? Far from over.